the Go Berserk with Email podcast with Navy nuclear engineer turned email software developer, Troy Broussard. So calm.
I'm pissed off, but I'm telling this because I am teaching you how to think differently and how to test differently.
So patient.
And Ben, that's put $500,000 into this company too, is being told that nobody can find the goddamn bug.
So charitable.
I'm going to start paying bounties every time somebody finds a bug. We're going to deduct $10 for that week.
So trusting.
Do not assume that anything works. Assume that nothing works.
And so sweet, it makes sugar taste just like salt.
I want to play into the sexiness of marketing automation, but I also want to slap the complexity of it.
The Go Berserk with Email podcast begins now.
So someone told me, well, I guess it's a rumor. We're about to confirm this rumor, Troy. I heard that you're really into karaoke. Is that true?
Absolutely not. Hate it, loathe it. Never in a million years. But I grew up, my dad was like one of these barbershop quartet guys. You ever seen those where they sing just a cappella and four guys doing harmony and stuff and have fun? And so my dad grew up singing. So I was always kind of hearing singing in there. And I played the piano and enjoy singing in the shower a little bit here and stuff. So it's funny. I've always had a dream of creating a CD for my kids, just like a handpick, just one CD of just some cover songs that would be kind of cool, you know. And my daughter, when she was a little baby, my oldest daughter, Julia, is quite a miracle baby. She was born in vitro, and we went through multiple rounds of it to have her. And she was quite a miracle baby. I mean, we didn't think it was going to work. And when she was born, in the location that I was living in at the time, there was only a small local hospital, and they only did cesareans on one day of the week. That was the only day. Yeah. And so if you had to schedule a cesarean, unless it was an emergency, but I mean, to schedule a cesarean, it was only one day a week. And coincidentally, she was born on my birthday. And I mean, it was just like completed the miracle for me, right? I mean, we had tried so hard for so long, and she, came out on my birthday. And so when I would put her to sleep at night, I just spoiled her rotten. And my wife was like, stop doing this. Now my ex, but her mom, was like, God, you got to stop doing this. You're training her all wrong. You're going to regret this. She's only going to sleep with you. And I would put her on my chest as a little baby, and I would rock her in kind of the chair that I had. I would rock her on my chest, and I would sing Elvis to her. I would sing Love Me Tender. And she would go to sleep with me singing to her every night. And I did that for, I don't know how long, until, she grew out of it. It wasn't necessary anymore. And she woke up in the middle of the night. I got up. I would take her in the other room and go sing to her and put her back to sleep. And my ex was right. Like, I spoiled her rotten with that, and she would not go to sleep unless I put her on my chest and, sang to her. She would not go to sleep. And I didn't regret it at all.
I bet.
I didn't regret it at all. So, long story short, but today we are going to go into some email marketing lies, Jonathan. And, I can't even talk about the topic without Fleetwood Mac coming into my head. Tell me lies, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. All right, that's where we're going. We are going to talk about some lies. And, I've seen this for so many years, watching people with email, and it's just painful for me anymore, brother. It's painful hearing the same stupid lies over and over and over again. So we're just going to debunk all of that right now. And I could probably go on, I think I could do an entire podcast just on this subject and probably do like 400 of them, but we're going to cap it at like 6 or 7 here today.
All right. I like it.
All right. So
lie to me, man.
Lie to me, baby. The first there's a good TV series about lie to me. That was a good one. So the first lie that I really want to emphasize And it's so poignant that I do not ascribe to this theory or this, delusional train of thought based on the entire design of what we did with Berserker Mail. And the lie is that design matters.
Bum, bum, bum.
People have this delusional, distorted version of the truth that they need to create these pretty emails. My God, I don't know how many countless hundreds of hours I've watched entrepreneurs muck around with the font and the colors and the graphics for their emails and the banners and the headers and the signature graphics and all of this nonsense for design of an email. And the truth of the matter is that design and imagery and color fonts and gimmickry, it has nothing to do with your success with email. Ben, co-founder of the company, right? Ben Settle, he doesn't even put an italic or a bold or an underline, not a single formatting whatsoever. No formatting, none. As close to formatting as he gets is using quotes. I mean, that's it. He won't even like all caps words or things like that to add emphasis. He does not do any of it. Plain text. I'm slightly more design oriented than that. I will use some bold and italic and some underlines. I will break up the page a little bit with some formatting. No graphics, no images, no cutesy frilly. None of that is necessary. And the point of the matter is what email is really about is building a relationship. It's not about looking cute and clever. And I don't know what I have to do to like give people a virtual friggin' lobotomy on this topic. But if anything I can do to just reach through the podcast and just, zap them right upside the head and just give them a quick little electrical shock to remove this delusional train of thought that they've got to sit there and spend 45 minutes picking out the perfect image in their email. My God, if you get nothing out of any of these podcast episodes other than this one thing, I just saved you, hundreds of hours of your life right there. So you're welcome. All right. That is number one, Jonathan.
And I will say that it was probably like 2-3 episodes ago where we talked about the guy that took like 8 hours to write an email. It's no wonder the guy's not making any money. I mean, the faster we get this thing out, money's attracted to speed, right? That's what Berserker Mail is all about, is get that email out quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The next thing is, the next biggest lie is that you can automate it. Right. This is something that I see, especially on the traffic guys, the guys that think that they can just go out there and create a traffic funnel from ground zero and they're going to kill it with Facebook advertising and they've got some ninja hack. You got to use the right words. They're going to kill it with ninja hacks, right? Killing it. They're going to crush it with ninja hacks, right? All this other nonsense. And what they've been told by all of these funnel marketing hacks that are just out there, taunting and teasing with what they've been taught, although they've never really made any money from it, is that you just need one funnel. You just get that one funnel automated.
One funnel away.
Everything. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to go there, but you went there. That's on Jonathan. That's on Jonathan. Yeah, I wasn't going to quite go to the catchphrase, but yeah, that you just need this one perfect funnel and everything will work. And the illusion, the draw of the funnel automation approach is this. It's really this nonsense of why people buy marketing automation in the first place. And they buy it for the lie of income on autopilot. They buy it for this lie, this delusion, this dream that they can just automate their way to success. And it doesn't work. This is about relationship building. Marketing funnels very, very rarely are very successful. The ones that are successful are the ones that are built on top of extensive relationships with a list already, and then just automating some of the fulfillment. Now, I do a lot of automation campaigns, but they're fulfillment campaigns. They're not marketing campaigns. The marketing side of things is where you really need to build that relationship and get into the mind of your prospects. So I don't try to automate that. And I don't believe that it can be automated. So, buying into this lie, I think, is going to just send you down an endless rabbit hole of wasted time, effort, energy, and a hell of a lot of money.
Can I ask for some clarification here? Because we're talking about automation, but my mind keeps going back to like autoresponder. Are these two different things? Like you should have some kind of autoresponder, shouldn't you? 5, 10 emails if you've got something going on. But we're talking about after that, you should be working on the relationship, or just not at all. Everything's broadcast.
I separate and segment everything into 2 buckets. There's marketing and there's fulfillment. Fulfillment is after somebody becomes a customer, right? And so having a autoresponder that sends out a tip like I do with my low stress trading, right? So we have a Tuesday tip for our customers, and every Tuesday, same time, same bat channel, right? We have a Tuesday tip that goes out, and it trains them to expect that. They like to see the consistency of it, and everything is very consistent in that sense. And it is an autoresponder because as I add more and more tips into that campaign, when new people come on, they've got a year and a half worth of tips already queued up for them, right? So that makes sense. Automation on the fulfillment side makes sense. Automation to deliver a PDF that somebody opted in for, sure, that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is trying to automate the relationship building to your new subscribers. That is going to fail miserably.
I see.
Anytime you write those marketing emails with the mindset of how to automate them and how to make them evergreen, they just it's like a bad digital fart you can just smell on the emails. They just smell like crap. You know something is wrong. You read the email and it smells like it was automated. It doesn't feel like it's from the person writing it. And you know what I'm talking about. You've received them. It feels contrived. It feels salesy. It feels gimmicky. It doesn't have that raw edginess that a daily live email will have. And it certainly doesn't have the timeliness because they will not use current events or things like that because they don't want them to be dated. They want them to be evergreen. And so the whole approach to it is this just smoothed over, no edges. It's all just copacetic and kind and gentle, and it just doesn't work. It's not real. It feels like you're watching an episode of The Matrix, right? You don't feel like you're reading from somebody that's actually live because you're not, and the connection isn't there. So that's the difference I'm talking about.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying.
All right, cool. Now, lie number 3, as we go deeper down the journey of lies that cannot be disguised. AI is the biggest lie of all. AI will save you. Oh my God. Jonathan, again, I can do a whole podcast on this crap, but look, I'm an electrical engineer. My background is in nuclear engineering, right? And I love engineering. I love technology. Nobody is a bigger fan of technology than me. I have multiple technology companies and platforms that I've created. I'm a programmer. I'm a developer. I'm a designer. Like, this is my background. I should be the guy that's just up on high preaching AI. And I am going to tell you that I don't use it at all. There's a couple of little experiments that I've done with AI that I found it useful for. I found it useful for going through stock analysis and doing summaries of that. I found it very useful for that because it saves you wading through 100 pages of some report. And will give you a summary information that kind of highlights some of that. That, I think, is a valuable use for AI, right? There are uses for it that make sense. But when you understand that it really, in fact, I redefine AI. I redefine the term to be augmented intelligence and not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence doesn't exist. Despite somebody's, moronic wet dream, it does not exist. It does not exist. Okay. At some point in 200 years in the future, maybe that'll happen. But right now, it simply does not exist. What we have is massively parallel data processing and data point analysis that can then use that data to try to make some intelligent predictions and things to that nature. But that's not artificial intelligence, right? It's not the same thing. Intelligence would be driving through a neighborhood and understanding that because of where you're at, that children may jump out and you're a little more cautious in your driving. That's intelligence. It's something that we naturally and intuitively do, especially if you've got children as a driver. Artificial intelligence, the way it's used today, is Tesla, and other vehicles that are doing self-driving. They will use cameras to notice movement, and based on that movement, they'll then react. But that's a very different type of thing. It's a reactionary behavioral approach, and they'll do the same thing on the freeway that they will do in a residential zone. And there's a different set of logic that we as humans apply to this stuff. So there's a lot of things in this regard that I do actually like AI for, but when it comes to generating unique content, never in a million years.
I like it. AI is a lie.
So
campaign slogan.
Oh my God. Please listen to the words I said. Generating unique content. AI can't do it. It simply fails. It's a 100% fail. It can analyze data that you've written. It can go back and look at all the topics that you've written and look at all of your emails. If you're somebody like me that has thousands and thousands and thousands of emails that you could load into an AI machine, it could theoretically learn my style. It could learn the way that I butcher the grammar in my emails. It could learn the way that I use run-on sentences and dots. And it could, it could try to emulate all of that. And it could probably do a fairly effective job at that, because that's a technical aspect of computer analysis that, it could do that. It could learn to replicate my style. It can't have original thought. And all of my emails are about my personal experiences. It's not going to be able to create a story of my experience and have it connect with anybody. And if it even goes into the world of fiction, well, then I'm creating fraud, because I'm literally creating BS out of the thin air that isn't even real, and it isn't even from me. AI cannot save your marketing agenda, your marketing schedule. It cannot save you a bunch of hours writing content for you. Okay. If you want to use it to drive your car, cool. I get that. It can handle those types of tasks, but it's a very different thing to create something original and unique, especially when it's based on you or your personality or your experiences. There's absolutely no way it can do anything but be a papagayo, which is a parrot. It can do nothing more than just be a puppet that's going to parrot everything you say and just repeat it and try to be clever with little hacks that it'll do. But there's no uniqueness. There's no genuine creativity there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I think the I stands for imitation. It can imitate thinking, but it doesn't actually think or create.
Yeah. Augmented imitation. There we go. We're refining. Jonathan is refining my acronyms right there live.
Let's go.
Now, could AI have done that? I don't know. Maybe Jonathan is AI. I've got a Jonathan bot.
This is a deep fake, bro. Producer Jonathan somewhere else.
All right. So the next big lie, we got to get through these. This is going to be a long episode. The next big lie is that weekly emails are just fine. That's what all the platforms out there that aren't Berserker Mail will tell you, right? Just once or twice a week. You don't want to overload your people with emails. If you email them too frequently, they're going to opt out. No, they're going to opt out if you're friggin' boring. If you're boring and you irritate them and you bore them to death, they will opt out. Yes. If you're entertaining, if you understand how to write quality email, if you provide fun and experience and make it into a storyline that they want to be a part of, then you're not going to have to worry about that. And you'll never run out of topics to write about. So this concept that you can just write once or twice a week is a complete and just unadulterated lie. If you're going to send an email, you should be sending an email daily. And this, I'm going to say very candidly, as you well know, as an owner of a platform, for me to say that, that puts more strain on our platform, right? It puts more load on our platform. It costs us more money for me to say that. I am not saying that because it benefits my platform. I am saying it because the way that I benefit my platform is by having and helping people to be successful. If they're successful with my platform, then they'll recommend other people on the platform, not from this fear-based mechanism of, oh, don't send too much email. We're going to have to pay too much money. I don't do that. I don't play that game. All right. Berserker Mail was designed around this, and it's designed around being efficient and effective. And that means daily email. Do you have to do it? No. But if you're sending emails and you're not doing it, you really need to ask yourself why. All right. The next lie. Funnels are where it's at. Okay. I've said this before when I said you can't really automate it, but I wanted to go a little deeper on funnels because so many people think that this is the approach to email marketing. And so I'm not going to talk about the technical stuff. We already kind of talked about that. I'm just going to talk about the real purpose of your email. It's relationship building. It's relationship building. And it's not about creating a dripped out funnel and understanding the tech of, hey, I can drip it at this time and I can do it at this time and I can automate this step in the funnel and I can do this next step. All of that people love because it's mental masturbation, screwing around with something that makes them feel like they're doing something. They feel like, oh, I've made much progress. Look at this 48-step funnel that I've created that sends alerts to Telegram and does this and uses Zapier to connect through and pop up on my cell phone with a text message and all of these crazy nonsensical things. And at the end of the day, they haven't even sent an email yet. They've just been masturbating to the damn funnel for the last 3.5 weeks. I've had people come and pay me $25,000 to work with me for a weekend and show me the funnel that they've been building for 9 friggin' months.
Yikes.
And never sent an email out on it yet. Guys, you gotta just hit the reset switch on this funnel nonsense. Just lobotomize yourself of this idea. I'm serious. Just get rid of it, because where are you going to go with it? You're just going to go down a path of wasted time and effort where you fiddle faddle and muck around with stuff that has no real impact, right? It's majoring in the minors. What you want to do instead is just write a live daily email every day. And when you do that, it's going to suck at first. How's that for a marketing message?
Ain't that the fact?
But every day it sucks a little less. There you go.
Embrace the suck, right? Isn't that the
come to Berserker Mail? We suck less, right? Seriously, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some iterations. And if you think that it can go any other way, then just go to a karate class and walk up to the kung fu or karate master and say, how much for a black belt? It's like, and he'll laugh at you and probably throw you on the mat in a chokehold, but he'll laugh at you because you can't write a check for a black belt. You've got to put in years of training and effort and go through all the little steps to get there. You cannot shortcut it. You cannot just write a check and ensure your success. And this is where people hire. So I'm going to save you a bunch of money right now. People go out and think that they can just hire a funnel meister, a funnel master, a funnel guru, a funnel hacker, a funnel bro, a funnel fan. Like, come on, man. All you're going to do is waste money. And you're going to have a nice little story to tell your spouse about how hard you tried. And that's about all you're going to get out of the check that you're going to write for that, because it's not going to be effective. So quit trying to rely on this just BS mindset that funnels are where it's at. They're not. All right. Now, this next one, as long as I'm hitting heavy, let's go to this next one. And that is the next slide, which is that email is easy. told you, I'm not into just, marketing the hype here. I want people that are actually going to do it and be successful with it. And if I tell you that it's easy, that might be great for making a sale, but it's not great for retention. And it's not great for making people profitable and successful that will then refer other people to you. I don't worry about today's sale. I worry about the referrals. In my low stress training program, for example, we've got people in a year that are already on 4th generation level of referrals. So they bought from somebody that referred them, from somebody else that referred them, from somebody else that referred them, 4 generations deep in, just a short year. And why? Because it works and people are making money, hand over fist in this thing, right? So why does it work? Because I'm scrutinize who gets into the program and I serve them and I help them. The same thing I'm telling you here. Email is not easy. It's simple. It really is simple. And in Berserker Mail, we make it about as simple as you can humanly make it. Literally copy, paste, hit the button, send, done. You can do it in 3 clicks of a mouse. For all of you 80s children like me, right? It's the Tootsie Roll. How many licks to the center of a Tootsie Roll pop, right? That's the same thing. It's 1, 2, crunch, you're done, right? Copy, paste, send, you're done with Berserker Mail. So it can't get any simpler, but it doesn't mean it's easy. You still have to have the discipline to do it. You still have to make time to do it. You still have to put in the iteration to get good enough to where you're actually engaging and entertaining and have some success with it. And you're not going to get that the simple way. That is not the easy way, right? That is the path of discipline, and it takes some time and effort. So just, if I scare you away from even doing it, I'd rather scare you away and say, don't even do it, than have you fall for one of these lies, which brings us to the last and final lie, Jonathan. And that is that email is a commodity, that the platform doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. And I'm not going to name platforms for competitors. we don't need to do that. So I'm not going to go into the competitors' names and stuff, but there's a lot of email platforms out there. But thinking that they're all the same or that it doesn't matter which one you use is a great big fallacy, because email is not about, just the technical aspect. It's about the effectiveness. And if you're not getting, deliverability, then it doesn't matter. And why would you want to waste all your time on a platform that never hits the inbox, right? So deliverability is everything. But then even if you have the best deliverability in the world, if it takes you 27 clicks of the mouse to send a stupid email every damn time you got to do it, and, an hour and a half of drag and drop building a friggin', design template for every stupid email you send out. I mean, come on, just put a bullet in your head and get it over with. It matters. The platform matters. And so I'm just going to leave you with that rosy image here, Jonathan. But, I want people to realize that there is a difference. There is a difference. It's not a commodity. Every single platform has their own brands, their own flavor, their own approach to doing this. And I challenge you to find another platform like Berserker Mail that is made by marketers, for marketers, and used by the owners on a daily basis in multiple companies of theirs, like we do with Berserker Mail. You won't find it. What you'll find is a bunch of woke platforms that take $350 million from this and that, and now they're beholden to all those woke policies, and they are not a platform that is actually used by the people that created it. They're techie platforms created by techies for techies, and they don't really understand the entrepreneurial mindset of how to actually make money with your business and do what's right with email. So I challenge you to find something else better than what we do for the money, and I don't think you'll find anything out there.
So let's recap the lies. Design matters. Number 2, you can automate all of this. Number 3, AI is a lie. Number 4, weekly emails are okay. Number 5, funnels are where it's at. Number 6, email is easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And number 7, email is a commodity. So that my friend, wraps up this supersized episode of Go Berserk with email. Thank you, Troy, for pontificating. And thank you guys for tuning in. That is a wrap for this one.
To get a free Berserker Mail test drive with no credit card required, go to startmytestdrive.com. From there, you can play around inside the platform without pressure. Load up emails and campaigns to see how simple the interface is, and get comfy with everything before deciding to join. That's startmytestdrive.com.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.